The following feature presentation is part of the Skywalking Network.
When people come to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge and they experience it for the first time, that this place they're walking through and the characters they're seeing and the beasts and aliens and droids puts them in a position where they give themselves over to the moment, to the story, and play with us in the world of Star Wars.
It will be jaw-dropping and incredibly emotional to walk into the land for the first time, to actually be standing there amongst the buildings, amongst the ships, and have this feeling that it is all real, that has been brought to life, and it is right there in front of you. It's overwhelming.
Are you ready?
Welcome to Neverland.
Here we go.
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome. Disneyland is your land.
When I first made Star Wars, everybody in Hollywood said, well, this is a movie Disney should have made.
You're more than just fans. You're family.
Best day ever!
Secrets lab.
It's about family, and that's what's so powerful about it.
Hey.
When you use a bird to write with, it's called tweeting.
When we visit the world of Disney, we never grow old. It's a Peter Pan, Never Land that keeps us young in heart.
This is Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi, and you are skywalking through Neverland. I have a good feeling about this.
Hey, Skywalkers! Do you want a sneak peek of Galaxy's Edge? Well, thanks to cast member previews, we have a ton of great info you can take on your next trip to Galaxy's Edge on this episode of
Skywalking Through Neverland.
We are your podcast destination for the many decades of your Star Wars, Disney, and Galaxy's Edge fandom. I am Richard Woloski, but now everyone please say hello to my sweetie wife, Sarah.
Hey, Skywalkers, and all of you watching live right now. This is a good time to go live in the afternoon. And we want to give all of you who are listening a big Wookiee hug to our family of Skywalkers. And we want to thank you guys for listening to the show every week. We want to thank you all on Facebook Live right now from our Facebook page. And we just love it when you share our joy in this adventure through fandom. And it's going to really turn into an adventure when Galaxy's Edge opens.
Oh, you bet. You better believe it. Now, we are recording this from Long Beach, California, 19 minutes away from Galaxy's Edge, I might add. on May the 21st, 2019, or as some call today, the 39th anniversary of the U.S. opening of The Empire Strikes Back.
The Empire Strikes Back. The Star Wars saga continues.
The rebels are there, and I'm sure Skywalker is with them. He will join us or die.
The rebel forces battle the Empire and Darth Vader.
Join me. Don't make me destroy you.
The Empire Strikes Back. Rated PG. Coming to your galaxy Wednesday, May 21st.
Empire Strikes Back. Does that, you know what? Next year, that means it'll be the 40th anniversary, and we'll also be having Star Wars Celebration, too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Yay!
It'll all be about Empire. So, you know what? Let's take a quick detour. Any face huggers here? Have you seen The Empire Strikes Back? Did you see The Empire Strikes Back when it opened on May 21st, 1980? Raise your hand if you did. Oh, my hand is going up. My hand is fully extended. Yes, I was there to see The Empire Strikes Back.
The Empire Strikes Back is older than me.
I told this story on my Star Wars story on the Scott Reifman podcast.
Yes.
But I almost got expelled, suspended, because I ran out of school because I could not wait another second to see The Empire Strikes Back. And I knew my dad was going to pick me up at 3 p.m. on that Wednesday. So when that 3 o'clock time hit, I was right out of there. And of course, back then, you couldn't leave until the teacher dismissed you. No deal. No deal. I'm out of there. And I saw The Empire Strikes Back that day.
Oh, okay. Yassine saw it in the 90s. So did I, Yassine. High five.
You kids. You kids. All right, so let me turn this discussion over here to Minnie Mouse.
Oh.
Now, Minnie, how many more days until we can finally visit Galaxy's Edge?
It's 1:59. Good afternoon.
Does Minnie not listen to a thing I say? It's not what I asked, Minnie.
No.
Set your watch to Galaxy's Edge countdown.
That would be cool. But right now, it's just Minnie. Oh.
All right. Okay, it's 1:59 p.m. I get it. She's never going to answer that question.
No. All right. So, Skywalkers, this episode of Skywalking Through Neverland is sponsored by Small World Vacations. Now, since they are a diamond level authorized Disney vacation planner travel agency, they can help you book your trip to Galaxy's Edge on either coast. And best of all, their service is free of charge. So contact them for a no obligation price quote at smallworldvacations.com and tell them that Skywalking Through Neverland sent you.
This fall, we're going to be planning a trip to Walt Disney World, and we'll be going through Small World Vacations.
Yep.
Can we tell them that we sent ourselves?
That we what? Oh, yes, we can. So, okay, when you go to Small World Vacations and their website, they have like get a quote everywhere. So if you you click on the get a quote and you tell them what kind of vacation you want, whether it's a cruise or Alani or Walt Disney World, there's a drop down menu for who sent you. And we are there, Skywalking Through Neverland. So, yay! That's what I'm going to do.
Tell them that we sent you. But,
exactly.
But don't tell them you want to go to Alderaan. Do you know why? It's not there.
Oh.
Nope, that's why you can't land on Alderaan.
Oh.
All right, now, coming up on this episode 248, we have a fantastic discussion with Skywalker Jeff Long. You know that guy who wins every single raffle and contest he ever enters? Yeah, that Jeff Long. Well, he was able to attend Galaxy's Edge, no surprise, on the very first cast member preview day at the very first time slot available with his cast member daughter, Jamie.
Yeah, amazing. I
Yeah.
mean, the timing couldn't get even more better than this. I can't use English properly because it's just so fantastic.
See, he wins a great daughter, and his great daughter brings him to Galaxy's Edge.
Indeed.
The man just wins every turn in life.
Yeah, so we're so excited to share this discussion with you. I mean, do you want to know the prices of those Build-Your-Own-Lightsabers? Do you want to hear a spoiler-free review of the land? Well, this is it. And no worries, he does not give anything away. He really just whets your appetite for this whole experience. Like, I can't even wait.
All right, now, what do you say we just roll into it?
I think so.
This is what everyone is here for.
Yep, this is what we want to share.
Star Wars Galaxy's Edge spoiler-free review.
Only a few days until we get to go to Galaxy's Edge ourselves. However, our good friend Jeff Long was able to visit today, the first day of the cast member previews, with his daughter. So now, let's talk to him and get a spoiler-free reaction, plus what everyone should know before they go.
Hey, Jeff!
Hey, Richard and Sarah, how are you?
This does not surprise me that you went to go to this opening, since you win everything that you enter.
True.
I'm trying to get away from that, but I can't. What can I tell you? It's just because my daughter got herself into the Disney College program. It's something she had, aimed for since she was much younger, and she graduated college in December, got into the college program, and the timing is ridiculous that she just happens to be here when Galaxy's Edge is about to open, and we didn't know anything about any cast previews or anything like that. She got to do a cast member testing of Smugglers Run about a week ago or something like that.
Wow.
And then it just dropped out of nowhere. All of a sudden, it just went out like wildfire to all the cast members that they were going to do a cast member preview, and they were asking each other, is this real? Is this really happening? And I guess they've never done it before, allowed cast members to bring a guest.
Wow.
So when I got the text from her that said, Dad, there's nobody else I could imagine bringing but you, it was just like, what?
Sure, that's a good story. But whenever there's an opportunity to be won, Jeff always wins.
Well, if you got to win something,
yeah,
very true.
That's the thing to win.
Crazy.
All right, now speaking of which, take us through the day here. How many people were at this cast member preview, and what was the atmosphere like? Tell us everything.
Well, first of all, the weather was fantastic. Just a few puffy clouds, and it was beautiful weather, maybe 70 degrees or something like that. So I was really happy about that. We got to go to the first session. So this is the first day, first session. And they registered people at Launch Bay, and I had breakfast with my dad and my wife this morning, and we just took our time. You know, they said you could be there up to 2 hours early, and if it's just me, I'm there 2 hours early. But with my family, I'm like, okay, we'll just get there when we get there, as long as we're there ahead of time. So we got to Launch Bay maybe 9.
Okay.
Nobody there really, just able to walk in, and they had all these kiosks, and they signed us up and gave us wristbands. And then we were free to move about the park and just go to the entrance to Galaxy's Edge behind at any time. And so we decided, well, we're going to go there right now because we want to see how many people are there. There weren't that many, really. There were maybe 100 people or something like that milling about. And they had the thing closed off with the benches that you've probably seen there, and just cast members just saying, we're not forming a line yet. Everybody just kind of keep the pathway clear. And we're like, fine. Well, there weren't really people up by the front. And I said to Jamie, I go, well, there's no reason we can't wait by the front. So she said, okay. So we went up and we waited right next to the entrance, basically, and got into a good conversation with another cast member there who was, working Galaxy's Edge. And then we saw our first cast members in costume walking around under there. And it just does take your breath away. It's really neat. That was the very first thing that got me, was like, oh, wow, we really can imagine that we're going somewhere else, off planet, off world, into a Star Wars place. It's really
wow.
neat.
If just the costumes are doing this, wow.
So all those times that we stood in the Star Wars landline, got all those pictures. We were first in line. We have documentation. We have pictures. Whatever.
I got to be in one of those pictures with you, and I thought the same thing. You sort of think that tunnel is open. This is open here. You can't see into the land from there, but it is open now.
So just to clarify, you are entering by that middle entrance, not.
This is yes, that's right. That's right. Not the, yes, that's right. It was the middle one directly behind Big Thunder. I was thinking it was to the left, but it wasn't. It isn't. It is the main kind of.
The one with the nice, with the what is it? The trains going over it, and you got the beautiful rock work. Yeah,
that's exactly
right. All right, so now it's like 9:50 a.m. How much is the excitement building?
It was, well, so here's what they do. They move the benches back prior to 10, and then they have people, and they're saying, everybody just move, calmly as you can. And so we were right in the front, and so we moved up with the first group, and they gave us the plastic bag, and they asked us to put our phones in them and seal those. So they didn't want us to use our phones whatsoever. They want to maintain the surprise, for everybody coming. So we did that, and then they walked us into the. I'm gonna get emotional. They walked us into the tunnel. They have some black tape on the ground, and they brought us up. And we were the absolute first, in the very first people. Our toes were on the edge, and we walked through the tunnel.
On the edge of Galaxy's Edge.
Oh my God!
Yes, we walked through the tunnel, and we're standing. We can behold Batuu. Black Spire Outpost is right in front of us. We can just look at it. The entrance area. We're seeing it for the first time. It doesn't seem real that they've done this. And I know it's a new land here at Disneyland and everything, but it's just another world. It's another place. And it really feels like that. You're like, wow, this is crazy.
Wow.
And so they kept us there for quite a while. We were there for a while, so we got to look. And you don't see the whole land from there. You're in this tunnel, and you can sort of get this. And cast members were just there, kind of in costume, just talking to us. And there was a lot of, excitement and nervous energy. And one of the cool things was Jamie recognized a couple of the top Disneyland executives were there. And they walked over and talked to us a little bit, and it was really neat. And one of the kind of fun things I did was I brought my original 1978 Chewbacca action figure with me in my pocket. I just felt like I wanted him with me, kind of the spirit of Peter Mayhew, really. If I was going to go on the Millennium Falcon, I wanted Chewie with me. And that was a good conversation piece, actually, too. And the people really, kind of enjoyed seeing that. And we, at one point, they had a camera crew come over with a Disney reporter. So we got to be interviewed, so I don't know where that will show up ever or not, but that was a lot of fun talking to her. I really enjoyed that.
Wow.
But in the meantime, we're looking at Galaxy, we're looking at Black Spire Outpost for probably 20 minutes, and that waiting to be let in.
So that big door that we always line up at, that door was no longer there, right? So you could look into Galaxy's Edge?
Yes. Completely gone. There's no wall.
What a tease.
Yes.
So while you're standing there for 20 minutes, are you beyond that door at this point?
Yes. They took us to basically the end of the tunnel, where the tunnel, I'm not going to give spoilers, but we saw the inside of the tunnel, when it becomes Black Spire Outpost, and that's the part of the tunnel we were in. So we were right on the end of the tunnel that leads into Batuu.
Wow. I just heard a Disneyland train go by you.
And here it is, right here. Train's coming in. I'm in the
Wait a minute. Are you still there?
Street.
Did you hide out?
I'm at Disney.
Did you hide out on in one of the compartments of the Millennium Falcon? Are you smuggling yourself?
Yes, as a matter of fact, hey. Richard, you're going to attract the First Order, believe me.
Wow.
The first podcast to be recorded in the Millennium Falcon.
Right. Okay, so we have one question just for the sake of, people doing their reservations May 31st and beyond. So your check-in was actually in Tomorrowland.
Launch
Bay in Tomorrowland. So it was nowhere near actual Galaxy's Edge. Did they happen to mention, is that where check-in is going to be?
No, they didn't. I don't know that. I don't know how that's going to be handled. But I did hear a rumor, though, I had never heard this before, and I thought, whoa, I don't think anybody knows this, as far as I know. And I've been doing a little reading, ahead of time, of course. And that is that for people who have reservations, in terms of how many people they're going to let in, they said they're going to let in what is technically half the capacity.
Nice.
Of Black Spire.
Well, that's a good rumor.
That's the rumor we heard, and I really hope that's true. I thought, wow, that's outstanding. I hope that's exactly right. It makes sense. And that's what we heard.
I also heard that the capacity is going to be tied to the capacity of the Smugglers Run ride. So it won't be the capacity for the land. It would just be how many people can fill that ride. So maybe that
would make sense.
How many compartments does the Millennium Falcon Smugglers Run ride have?
Well, I don't mean like that. I mean, like the traffic flow. Like, I'm not sure how they calculate, but maybe how many people can ride that ride in 2 hours or something, or keeping the line to a certain.
I was going to say there's only 6 compartments.
No.
That's 6 times 6. It's only 36 people in the whole park. Awesome.
I know. No, I think they're going to calculate like how many people.
Right.
Will we keep it to an hour or less line or something like that?
Gotcha. Oh, okay, that's very clear.
Which would be, that would be amazing. Oh.
Okay, so once the 10 o'clock hour hit, what happened? Did they drop a big red rope?
There were no ropes or anything. They just said I know. It was one of these. I haven't looked him up yet, but one of the Disney executives, one of the big honchos, came over and he said, and people started to do a countdown, ahead of any official notice. And they're like, no, we're not yet. But then he walked over and he said, let's do a countdown. So the whole place, 10, 9, 8, just in this tunnel, right? It's loud. And then he just says, everybody walk, be calm. And I had this whole list of, what's been published and what's available in Galaxy's Edge. I didn't know what would be open in particular or what, but I made a list of what I wanted to do and when and how to maximize our time. And I said to my daughter, I said, well, since we're first, because I was thinking about doing Smugglers Run maybe toward the end, I said, let's just go straight there. Let's just do it, make sure we do it, et cetera. So we walked. Oh boy, that really hits me to remember this, that we decided to go straight to Smugglers Run, and it was basically straight ahead of us and around the corner. And I can't, I just still can't believe they built this, and I can't put into words what that feeling was like to walk around the corner and see the Millennium Falcon right there in full. It's stunning. It's beautiful. That was the most giddy I was the whole time when I saw it, and just, you almost, I was hooting and hollering and just like, woo! Just like that. And a lot of people around me were, and we were right at the front, right? So we walk in just like, it's spectacular. It's just hard to believe. And it's done so beautifully. I thought we got to see it from multiple angles during the course of the day, but we immediately just went straight to Smugglers Run. And I actually counted how many, because by this time, they're saying walk, and we're walking, but other people are kind of, trotting a little bit and going ahead of us. We were number like 36 and 37.
Oh, wow.
When we first got in there. And so you were moving pretty quickly through the queue. And the whole time I'm thinking, I want to take my time. I want to savor this, but people are moving relatively quickly. But it's just the detail, and it really does feel like you're completely somewhere else. And there's many things I'm not going to talk about, but they've done it right. No surprise at all. But there are so many things that we haven't been shown, or nothing's been talked about or described, that you see it, you're just like, wow. Wow, that is really neat how they've done it. So we went on Smugglers Run for...
Well, last week, they had revealed another room in the Millennium Falcon, and that's the love scene from The Empire Strikes Back. Yeah. When Han kisses Leia.
Oh, my God.
Leia kisses Han.
I'm telling you, that really got my attention, too. But to board the Falcon is quite an experience.
Whoa.
To say the least. And but that particular wall is really cool. Don't miss it. I must,
don't worry.
Tell people don't miss it. There's things. There's more.
Okay.
There's things. Just check it out.
I almost want to ask you more about the Millennium Falcon, but I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
It's like 11 days. 11
and
days.
I'm sure the Skywalkers want to experience it themselves.
Yeah. Wow.
So
I think so too. We're big advocates of letting people discover these things for themselves and be surprised. That's for sure. It's all going to be revealed here in whatever 10, 11 days. But and regardless, my opinion is no matter when you go, just go, because you'll see things that you just won't be able to fully appreciate until you're there. That's what I think.
So did you see it through the eyes of an 8-year-old Jeff, or Jeff present day?
You know what? Going onto the Falcon, I sure was 10 again. I'll tell you for sure. It really was neat. Oh, that's another thing I got to tell you. So we're in the queue, moving pretty quickly, and it's got the switchbacks, right? And just spontaneously, people start high-fiving the people going in the opposite direction, Oh, it's so funny. There was so much joy there, it really was. And so, it's a crazy thing to have flown on the Millennium Falcon. And both of us we didn't know they have a system for assigning you a role, and we know that's been revealed. And so we both turned out to be engineers. Ooh. I was across the cockpit from Jamie, and so we were both engineers.
That's cool. So you got to fix stuff or, something like that?
Yep. Stuff goes wrong. Stuff goes wrong, and they need the engineers. You've got, this has been talked about. We've got the pilots, and we've got the gunners, and we have the engineers. Cool. And so every person on board has a role to play in the mission, and that determines your success or failure. And I could tell you a lot more about that, but I didn't have such a successful gunner with me on this one. But we were good engineers, I'll tell you what. It's funny, my daughter, she got to do this already, and so she was an engineer once already, and so she knew the system. And you should have seen her score. She knew exactly what she was doing. And it was hilarious when I'm trying to figure this out. Your mind is just spinning, that this is even happening. And now you have a task, right? You have an assignment. And I'm all like, well, I want to succeed. I want to be a good crew member and do the best I can. There's a lot to take in. It really is brilliant how it leaves you. This is going to be a different experience many, many times over when you're on it. That's what I think. I want to go again and try again and see what happens. it was hilarious because the first thing happens and I'm like just thrown into the seat, like it's time to do something. And I'm like, what? Trying to figure it out. And she's all, Dad, hit the, she's after me. Like, I'm trying. It's just so funny. And then I got the hang of it, but it's just looking out the cockpit, right? That we've seen so many times. We've dreamed of, we've had toys, we've imagined it. Been depicted, seeing our, just Han and Chewie and Lando and everyone else who's been in that cockpit and what they've seen through the window there. But to just see that is like, what the heck? It's crazy.
Now, when you were first let in, was it a free for all, or did they bring certain groups to certain places?
No, it was a free for all. It was just everybody go, do whatever you want. And so we just headed straight to Smugglers Run, and then we got out of that, and I actually have a list. I actually, I was taking notes, because we couldn't take. I took notes because I wanted to always remember. I really didn't. And your mind, you just can't absorb it all. So the second thing we did was blue and green.
Nice. And I saw you got both, right?
We did. We got both, and we tried each other's, and we decided which one we liked. My daughter liked the green more. I liked the blue more, but they were both great. I thought they did a great job. I really thought that was great. And so that was the second thing we did. We went and got, and of course, she knows a lot of these cast members. She knows a lot of the people that were, that are now in Black Spire Outpost. Right. So that was a lot of fun for me, to be introduced to a lot of these people who are, in, and that's another thing that we've read about, and it's neat how they're immersing us in this world where the cast members are playing their role, and they really are. And you could tell they're learning it, they're practicing it, but that really caught me a few times when you're like, oh, wow, this is neat how they're portraying being on another planet and what's going on the planet and who they are, and what's just happening that day, or what your interests, what your questions are, or whatever. And there's things I won't spoil about that, but that stuck with me quite a bit, even to right now. It's hilarious to repeat some of their phraseology, after the fact.
So as you're talking to various cast members, is there like a storyline that's kind of being revealed?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yes, there is. And it's just fun. I'll just leave it at that. I'll let people discover that for themselves, but it is really fun. And it really does. It reminded me of these photo opportunities that they have, with Chewbacca or Rey or Kylo, where you're in that moment, for maybe 60 seconds or a couple minutes, where you feel like you're in the presence of this actual individual. The whole land felt that way to me. And there were a lot of things going on where you're like, oh, wow. There's just things that happen a lot. And it was a lot. It just felt like they had committed to it, like that we are taking you somewhere else. And if you just let your imagination go, you can go there, and it will all be in support of that experience. Like you really have gone somewhere else. And that was really cool. Does this
mean that there were stormtroopers walking around the streets and Ithorians and other creatures?
Stormtroopers, yes. And more than that, but stormtroopers for sure. Yes. And just the residents and other, authority figures and that kind of thing.
Ooh, okay.
Authority figures?
It caught us off guard. It caught me off guard. I was like, oh, wow. It's neat because it makes you feel like you're there, because you can go in, because we know the First Order's present there, the Resistance is present there. There are smugglers, there are scoundrels. There's a lot of, different points of view and different factions, that are living here on Batuu, and you feel like you're sort of caught in the middle, and you sort of like, I need to make a choice. And that was another thing that I didn't expect that we got to do was, since we didn't have our phones, I was like, oh, I guess we won't get to try the app. They had phones there for us to use to test the
data pad,
Disney Play app.
Yeah.
And I did that quite a bit. And I was surprised at how much fun that was. It was really good. There was a lot of variety to it and a lot of things you could do. And that's another example of how I felt like I just scratched the surface.
Okay.
I got to experience some of it and do some of it, And I was like, I could do this the whole time, just this, because there's so much to it.
Oh.
So it's like a real life role playing game is what it felt like.
I believe it. Okay, so you've gone on Smugglers Run. You have your blue and green milk. What do you do next?
Well, then we went into First Order Cargo. That was the first store we went into. And then I'll just tell you, there's lots of other detail, but we went to First Order Cargo. Then we went to the Droid Depot. And before I went, I watched your videos, the ones you did at Celebration, which were excellent, where they were showing the merchandise, and it got me more excited. I'm not really a collector per se. I love, I have some things but I got excited about the lightsabers that you showed. And I've never been a particularly, in a lightsaber person necessarily, but I thought those were really cool. And I really liked the idea of Savi's workshop and how that was. So we went to the Droid Depot, and the next place we found was Savi's, because we kind of stumbled on it. We kind of like, oh, wow, we're right here. And I decided I wanted one. I was like, okay, I'm gonna. This is my maybe my only chance, and what a special time to do this. And that's when. No, I mean, obviously, Smugglers Run was great, and the blue and green milk, and all this. But that Droid Builders, the Savi's workshop, was the immersion of it. You really feel like you're participating in this world, and that was really, really neat.
Whoa.
They did a great job with that, I must say. And the reaction of the people in my group who got to do it was the same as me. We were just like, wow.
And so what color is your blade?
Neat. I got a green blade.
Nice. So, a kyber crystal then.
I got a green.
Right? How long does the process take, and how much are they? Because that's like the main question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'd say it's about a 20-minute process where you are, involved in this, and it's more. I've never seen anything quite like this in any kind of a theme park. The level that they've taken it to, and it's the immersion. And now I don't know exactly what they retail for, but with and they were obviously the cast members are there and they get a discount. Okay. So I got to get a discount. Mine, I'll tell you, it was $172.
Wow.
That's after the discount?
And yeah.
Whoa. Okay.
Okay, good to know.
So I think they're about 200. I think they're about 200. That's what I think without a discount. That's what I think. So I that was kind of a big swing for me.
Oh yeah.
But
you're there. You gotta do it. You gotta do it.
Yeah, they priced it high so that the line wouldn't be like hugely long for that. Because I'm sure were you in line for a while before you got to build one?
Not too long. Not too long. I think people. First of all, it wasn't. I don't know how many people were in our session today, but it wasn't empty. That's for sure. There was a lot of people, and it was very active, and there were some lines, for certain things. But I think we got there on the early side, maybe, but we just got in and we signed up, and I'm thinking of a lot of other details I won't mention, but we were escorted to a place where we waited. We waited, and then we were invited to this workshop, and then it goes from there.
Wow, cool. Yeah. So what did you end up picking? Like, I know there's like earth and there's different whatever.
For the hilt?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. So went through your video, when they just talked about the 4 different types of sabers, the one that intrigued me the most were the ancient lightsabers, because I think those are our first indication of where the saga may be going, or the storyline might be going next. That's what I think. Okay. And so I thought that is so neat that I would love, get my hands on one of those to anticipate what the stories that might be told, how things were, at the beginning when, kyber crystals were discovered and people were using the Force for the first time and that kind of thing. So that's one. What mind? What was it called? Defense.
Okay.
It was one of the attributes. I can't think of the other one right now. My mind is just, I can't remember.
Bankruptcy?
Yeah, that's right. Bankruptcy. That's what it was.
That's a power. That's a power you don't want.
Yeah, no, there's Elemental. Elemental was the one that kind of caught my eye.
Me too. That was the one I liked also. The person next to me had one of those, and it was really cool. And everybody had a kind of a different, it's custom. Everyone can do kind of their own thing and how it works. So, yeah, I had the one that involved like justice and defense or whatever. It was, so I'm sorry, I just don't remember.
That's okay.
But a lot of detail in my mind right now. But the experience was really cool. And my daughter she loved that too. And it was so neat having her next to me, having, both of us kind of did it together. And there was a guy, it was fun in this preview because there were so many management and executive people, in there watching how things were processing, how things were working, how people were reacting, that kind of thing. And so I introduced myself to a guy who was in there at Savi's, and he was I don't recall his name right now. I haven't looked him up since, but he is in charge of the entire merchandising of Batu, of Galaxy's Edge. So it was really amazing to be able to turn around and say, congratulations, you've done an amazing job here. We really, grateful. And you could tell he was really happy to get feedback like that, but he was observing the entire thing.
Whoa.
And that was happening all throughout, the whole thing. We ran into a lot of those people. And
did this 4 hours just fly by?
It didn't. Oh. That was another thing. It was kind of, because we were moving quickly. I think at first we felt like, we got to just really maximize, move, not like, I didn't feel like we were rushing per se, but it's such an overload. There's just so much coming at you that we actually, and then that was another thing. We didn't have our phones, but because I had the little test phone with the app, it had the time. So we could mark our time. That made a difference. So we were kind of methodical about it, and we moved our way through it. So sitting here now, yes, it went by in a flash. But when we were there, we were like, okay, let's go. Now we can do this. Now we can do this. Let's not miss this. So we covered the entire land pretty effectively in that amount of time.
That's good to know.
Wow. Okay, that's very, very good to know.
All right. So the lightsaber, you've done that. And then did you visit Oga's Cantina, or what did you end up doing next?
Okay. The next we ate. It was time for lunch. So we went Docking Bay 7. And awesome.
With Tip Yip.
Great. Yeah, that's right. I had the roasted tip. That's what I had.
How was it?
And it was really good.
Okay.
It was really good. I really, really liked it. And it was just so cool because of the, just the way they present it. Let me just say that. There's aspects to it, and it was super cool. It was really, really good. So we enjoyed that. And I'm playing with the app in line the whole time, and it made the line go by really fast.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Richard has this look on your face. You'll get there.
I don't know how much more I can take of this.
I find it fascinating.
So did you end up at Oga's Cantina?
That was the one place in the entire land that we didn't get to because it was so impacted.
Okay.
The line, right when we got there, we came off Smugglers Run, it's near there, we saw this big line, and we thought, okay, we'll come back to it. So we tried to, with like an hour left of our time, and there were some cast members at the end of the line just saying, the line's closed now, try and come back. And we're like, well, we're probably not going to make it in. And we'd heard a rumor that they weren't serving alcoholic drinks either, which is like, that doesn't really matter, necessarily, but we're like, oh, okay. I really wanted to see it, but we actually talked to someone later on during the day who they'd attempted to get in that line 4 times during the day and never got in. So they were saying it's very small, which we knew, and it was just impacted. I didn't get in the cantina.
Oh, judging by that concept art, the place looked big.
No, it's small.
Is it really?
Yeah,
okay.
It's small.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, now the place I'm really drooling over is Doc Ondar's Den of Antiquities.
Well, that just so happens to be the next place we went.
Woo!
All right, slow down. Take your time. Take your time. Slow down.
Yeah, you mentioned the bankruptcy. Jeez Louise. Wow. It's impressive. It's impressive, and I've never seen retail spaces built like this. All of them. The immersion factor again. All the things that are happening, and is just, really captures your attention, right? You can just walk through there and enjoy just being in there, let alone maybe looking for something to buy. And there's no shortage. There's no shortage of really, really cool things in there. If you want to buy something, there's a lot of stuff that I didn't know was even going to be in there.
So is this where they have like the plush
really
and stuff as well?
No, there's plush over in the marketplace, where there's the creature stall and the Toydarian toy maker and that kind of over there.
But Doc-on-Dar has what kind of items?
Statues. They have the holocron.
Oh, that's right.
They have the lightsabers of legends you may have heard of. They've got some clothing, a lot of stuff, a lot of artwork. And that I've never seen a land in any Disney park that has so many relatively high ticket items.
Wow.
Lots of stuff that you're like, oh no, I don't think so. Just for example, I really like the art piece.
Yes.
But I there's no way, I wasn't going to get those, but they were neat, boy. I really like those a lot.
During the Galaxy's Edge panel at Star Wars Celebration Chicago, they were saying that there's so many Easter eggs in Doc-on-Dar's Den of Antiquities that they've lost count. Don't tell us, but were you just overwhelmed with just the detail of Easter eggs?
The detail is tremendous. The detail level is amazing. And I got to tell you, one of my favorite little thing in Doc-on-Dar's, which is not, but so I'm using the, anyway, you can enter the Arabesh manually if you want to, right? And so I'm looking around and I saw something in Arabesh. Oh, okay, well, I wonder what that is, right? And so I started entering it and I realized, like, wait a second, this character, I can't find this character, I can't find that character, this doesn't make any sense. And it took me a second and I realized that label, that sign is upside down.
Uh-oh.
So I figured that out and I did it upside down several times and it worked perfectly. I'm like, okay, that's what's going on here. They put this up here upside down. So I got to, I went over and I told the manager, I said, hey, I met one of these executives who's in there watching things. I said, I think I just found, I think I found something that might need to be corrected. And they were so happy that I found that. They're like, oh, thank you. That's right. And they made a note to fix it. And that was funny.
Did they give you a free lightsaber in return?
Yeah, right?
I got a kick out of it. No, they sure did. They sure
maybe your name on the wall or something?
That cracked me up. That I felt, like, wow, we really are, that's why they're doing these things, right? To kind of work out some of these little tiny little fixes like that. But that was just so random that I just happened to decide to input that particular one. But that was really
cool. I'm going to ask you a question. I don't want you to answer it. I just want to ask it. Were there any Star Wars Holiday Special Easter eggs anywhere? That's all I want to hear. That's all I want to hear.
All right.
That's a question that I don't want answered.
You just wanted to ask it?
How ironic was that?
Well, I have a couple questions. And were these items on sale, like the holocrons and the Legends lightsabers?
Yes.
And how much were they going for?
Oh, brother. I did look. The Legends lightsabers were, I believe, $129 and $149, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
So, and they were all there. It was really fun.
What about the holocrons?
I didn't get a price. I didn't look, but I asked to hold one. I held one and checked it out, but I didn't look at the price because I knew I wasn't getting one. But that whole setup was really cool too. That was.
Woo.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's tons. That I did my absolute best to be disciplined. I just assume get everything, I mean, and I realized I'm there, day one and the ultimate value of these things and everything. But I was like, I got the lightsaber. I ended up getting one other particular thing that I really wanted, but otherwise, I did. And I bought a few souvenirs for friends and family that, are, but there were lots of things that were really,
This is the kind of place where you need to start a tab. You give them your credit card when you go in. I don't want to know how much things are. I'll just put things in my basket and just bill me next month, and I'll be fine with that.
Yeah.
That's the only way this could work.
Or not.
Yeah.
At that point, it's too late.
Oh.
And you just deal with it.
What was the other item you ended up buying for yourself?
Toydarian Toy Maker. I really wanted the wooden sand crawler.
Oh, cool.
So I got that. Yeah. I've always, I've been around since the first, since Star Wars in '77, and that whole initial first, segment of the film at Tatooine has always been my place, in Star Wars, so to speak. And that sand crawler was always the Jawas and the Tusken Raiders and the whole scene on Tatooine has always been in my heart. So that sand crawler, I just really wanted that.
Aww.
So that's what I got for myself.
No wonder we get along so well, Jeff. That's the Tusken Raiders and the Jawas mean a special thing for me too. It always holds a special place in my nostalgic heart.
Definitely.
Yeah, I want to tell you more, but I'm not going to. There's more to it. So it was really
well.
neat.
I have one question for you, just before we move on the merchandise. Is there something that's a little more affordable that souvenir kind of things?
Yeah, go to Star Trader.
Absolutely. Yep. Yes. I could have spent half the time just looking at all the pins and there's a lot of merchandise that is not traditionally what you might find on Main Street or in World of Disney or whatever. A lot of little things, a lot of great value things. There were some things that I looked at that I was like, wow, that's very reasonable, for what it is. Lots of.
Oh, that's good to know. You can get souvenirs without breaking the bank.
Right.
Absolutely. That's very, very, and a lot of variety of souvenirs too. You can get a lot of variety of things, and not go crazy at all and be in my opinion, that's easy for me to say, but that's what I think. There's reasonable things for a few dollars here, a few dollars there. And
so you were saying how you had finished up after Dock on Dars. What did you end up doing? After
Dock on Dars, then we decided to head over toward where the marketplace is. So there we saw Ronto's Roasters. There's things there that are just also, it's all neat. I could tell you all about every one of these things, but I was in there like, wow, that was really cool too, the way they did that. And using the app again, translating the Arabesh on the walls and on all these things, it's really fun. There's a lot of fun stuff. And then we saw, Kat Saka's kettle was there, which, we just, that's where they've got, it's got popcorn.
Right.
And then we were at the Toydarian Toy Maker, and that was great. Lots of fun stuff for my nephews and my brother and that kind of thing. And then the creature stall, and there's something there I want to tell Teresa Delgado. Don't miss that. That was really neat. Mm-hmm. I thought of her right away walking in there, I'll tell you. And I don't want to talk about it too much, but it was.
Did you happen to catch the price on the Stormy doll, the little Stormtrooper replica doll that Jen Erso had in Rogue One?
I didn't, but my daughter picked one up and showed it to me, but I didn't get the price.
I'm going to imagine it's just expensive. That's the price, expensive.
It wasn't bad. They weren't bad. I know that. And then we ended up walking downward where the Resistance, and then they just had the Resistance supply open there, which was really cool. Really great stuff there. Completely different stuff, that's emphasizing the Resistance. But we saw the queue, for Rise of the Resistance. And then there's, which is, we've seen the pictures, where you've got an X-Wing and an A-Wing there. Mm. And they had the PhotoPass photographers. So we were, we got our pictures with everything we could possibly get.
Yeah.
And that really takes your breath away too. You're just like, wow, this is amazing. That was the entire land, basically. Those are all the things that we saw.
Okay.
And the Rise of the Resistance, that's going to open, did they say when, roughly?
No, we have not heard. I've heard some things through, that what my daughter's heard from other cast members, and there's certain things,
Well, we don't want to get her in trouble. So don't.
No, and there's nothing definitive. That's the bottom line. There's really nothing. Nobody, none of these people she's talking to have anything to do with it, really,
Right.
So ultimately, right? So it's just all like, well, maybe this, maybe that, maybe this, maybe that. Nobody knows.
Okay.
Right.
So how do they go about sweeping you out?
Okay, that's another interesting thing. We left before our time expired, and the reason why is because my dad and my wife were here at the park. they're waiting for us. We both looked at each other as, are we okay? Did we really experience this? Have we seen everything we want to see? We'd like to get back to our family. Don't want to leave them hanging. They would have loved to have been with us, of course. And so we left with about 20 minutes. So I wasn't there to experience that, but we had very, very prominent wristbands with our color, and there was no lack of first order presence, and they were making their presence felt even before then.
That's fun.
I didn't really want to mess with them, and some other people. So it was. You really get that sense, like, oh, do not mess with these guys. It's really
You're
fun.
teasing us, Jeff. You're teasing us.
It's super fun. There was things that happened that I didn't know were going to happen or were involved in the land, and it's just done right. It's just done right, where you really feel like you're present in Black Spire Outpost on Batuu at this moment in their history, and it's really cool.
Wow. Oh, so where did you exit? Did you exit at a different area than you entered?
No, we went out to the exit where the Resistance. Rise of the Resistance is, but we didn't exit there. We circled back, and we ended up exiting the same tunnel we came in.
Really? Okay.
Was the next group waiting to get in at that point?
No, they overlapped an hour. So the people, we had 10 to 2, and the next group had 1 to 5, I think. Okay. Must have been 1 to 5. And they were filtering in the last hour. Before we left.
Right.
So we saw them. We saw people coming in with their new color wristband. How it was.
Okay.
And it was one little odd thing I realized after the fact was that there weren't any kids, because it was these cast members and their friends and family. I saw a lot of cast members who were bringing their, Star Wars fan dads like me, they got to come in, or their moms or their grandparents or their, cousins or whoever. But my daughter said she only saw one kid in there the whole time, and that's what it was. So that was an interesting aspect of this that would not be,
right. Right.
So, but the kids are going to just have the time of their lives in there.
Bet.
That's for sure. Kids like me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good.
And you were saying that you pretty much covered this 14-acre land within that 4-hour chunk.
Yes, we did.
Wow.
We were able to see the entire land shy of the...
All right, so based on your experience, do you have any recommendations or tips for those of us that are going to be entering the land for the first time here in 10 days?
I'd say get the app. That's one of the first things I would say. And I'd say watch your videos. That's another thing I would say is get... this is how I do it. I like to know as much as I can ahead of time without spoiling anything. Anything that's been put out officially. And I looked for a map of the land a lot before we got there. I never found one. So the map is in the app, so then I could sort of get the lay of the land. But I wanted to know I really did. I wanted to know every store, all the food, everything that I might find there, and then decide what was more important to me or not. It turned out we had time to see everything but that's how I would approach it. It's just like, you might do at a celebration, what are your number one things? Don't miss. It's an immersive experience. It's an immersive thing. Enjoy your time. And great credit to Disney, for putting this together the way they have. They've done it right. They obviously took their time. The detail level is, beyond anything. I think Cars Land is amazing, and Pandora is really incredible too. This is another level. They've gone to the next level. Wow. And they've really set a high bar. So for people visiting, I guess mainly get the app, know what's there ahead of time, and don't miss it.
And is there anything you recommend going to first, maybe?
No,
okay.
I wouldn't. I would say whatever it works for you.
Calls to you.
Yeah, the one thing I'm not looking forward to is the Galaxy's Edge Spy, because it'll never be me. Never ever.
But yes, like I was saying, I would say if you can possibly do it, get to Galaxy's Edge. You'll never regret it. I think you're going to enjoy it very, very, very much. And it's a stunning thing. After having been a fan from day one, it doesn't matter when you've been a fan from. That doesn't matter. But if you're a Star Wars fan at all,
yeah,
it's well worth your time and effort. That's for sure.
Awesome.
Wow. Well, Jeff, thank you so much for coming on and giving us that review and tips, because that's something that all the Skywalkers need to know when entering Galaxy's Edge, because it's going to be so overwhelming and we're just going to collapse right there without these tips. So
Yeah.
Thank you. That really, really helps out.
Thank you very much for letting me come talk. I absolutely love you guys, love your show, and I really love the Skywalkers. There's such a great community, and I didn't do anything to, deserve this or anything. It just happened the way that it did, and it is a really incredible experience. I'm really looking forward to coming back and hearing everybody else's adventures, because that's another thing you can tell, that everyone who visits the Black Spire Outpost is going to have their own adventure, the opportunity to kind of live their own moment in the Star Wars universe. So that's really exciting to look forward to everybody else's.
And do you know why you were chosen? Because you are Jeff Long, the winner of everything.
And speaking of that, Jeff, where can our Skywalkers find you on social media?
Well, on Twitter, I'm at JeffLong24, and you can find me in the Neverland Facebook group, Jeff Long.
Excellent.
All right, great. Well, Jeff, you enjoy your evening, and once
At
again,
Disneyland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
Yeah.
Big
Thank
hugs.
you so much.
All right, well, to the Spires. Take care.
It's exciting to think about this as only the beginning, and to think about how this land will be living and breathing and evolving. There is nothing actually more meaningful and more special than to provide a place for people to experience Star Wars with their family for decades to come.
And we have more Galaxy's Edge coming your way. Our good friend Eric Unkenhout, who is a contributor to our Skywalking Through Neverland website, he's going to be reviewing the 5-issue Marvel Comics Galaxy's Edge miniseries. Now, the first 2-issue reviews will be up this week. The second issue will be out tomorrow, May 22nd. So we'll have 2 reviews in 1 week.
Nice.
And then it'll be a monthly comic book series. Oh, and one thing I want to mention, the first issue has got a baby Sarlacc. Oh, I dare you not to read this.
Whoa.
Skywalking through Neverland. Shout-outs. Skywalker shout-outs. Which Skywalkers get props from here in Neverland? Who was tweeted out? Shout-out. Who was photobombed? Shout-out. Who was shared a post? Shout-out.
Today, we'd like to give a big shout-out to Joshua Jordan, whom we met in person on our last trip to Walt Disney World. Was that in 2017?
I don't remember any years ever since Disney bought Lucasfilm.
Yeah.
Time's been a blur.
It really has. Well, Joshua, he's actually watching right now on Facebook
Joshua.
Live. And he is a cast member at Disney's Hollywood Studios, which, of course, is the next theme park to be getting the Galaxy's Edge expansion on the East Coast. And when I was just messaging him today, he said, "It's so hard working right next door to Galaxy's Edge. It takes all my self-control to not jump the gate." Which I can understand. So the reason I am mentioning Joshua is because he sent us a lovely gift of items that only cast members can get. And it's really cool, and I have it right here. So you guys on Facebook Live, you'll get to see it right now. So we want to thank you so much, Joshua, and check this out. So they have special cast member lanyards. They're called Cast Member Limited Release Lanyard Series. And he gave us a solo lanyard, actually 2 of them. So here's one out of the packaging. It looks really cool.
So it's Han Solo wearing the goggles.
Yes, from Solo, A Star Wars Story. And it's a great lanyard that I can put all my buttons on when I go to the parks. And I love it. Yeah, and you can, attach things to it.
So now you open yours, but I'm not going to open mine.
No, you have yours right here?
Right here. In the package. Can you hear the package goodness? That's a package that won't be opened. I can admire it just the way it is.
We want to give him a shout out because he also sent us something he created. You guys, he sent us the Blue Flame Legends comic book. Here, hold this for the Skywalkers. Oh, it's signed.
Yes.
It's his comic that he created. And he says, it's the first issue of my comic that I have created, The Blue Flame Legends. Thank you again for all you guys do. So,
wow, this
very,
comic
very
is
cool.
legit.
Yeah.
Look at
yeah.
this. Look how well this.
And he's an
came
artist.
out.
He even back a while ago he did a Jedi Tink of me, like an art form.
Yeah, I recall that. Yeah. Josh, I can't wait to get into this because the artwork just pulls you in.
Here, let's show. Yeah, it's very cute. It's like cute artwork. So, some comics kind of are like scary art or something, but this is like
looks
super
too overwhelming, but look at
and
that. Look
bright,
at
bright
those
colors. Yeah.
People listening right now,
Saturated colors.
We can't hear colors.
Yeah.
So thank you very much there, Joshua. And once again, like you said, it's signed. It's autographed. Look at that.
Yes. All right, before we show him some of the other parts of the package, which have Galaxy's Edge on it, what I want to read is his note. So Joshua writes, "For years now, I have listened to your podcast and have enjoyed every single moment of it. As a cast member who works at the Disney parks, it's also a reminder of all the love that people have for the theme parks and makes me want to do my best to continue to give the level of service everyone wants. Thank you for all your hard work putting this podcast together." Aww. Your fellow Skywalker, Joshua Jordan.
Extra big Wookiee hug going out to you, Joshua. I love these little postcard things he sent too.
I know, they're so amazing. So these are all these postcard content he gave us are just for the cast members. It's actually like a recruitment postcard. The galaxy needs you. Want to live your own Star Wars adventure while helping our guests explore Black Spire Outpost? Growing in reputation as a top destination in the Outer Rim, Batuu is not only a beautiful planet, but a lively outpost offering some of the most interesting food and drink, unique shopping, and unforgettable opportunities for adventure without having to travel through hyperspace, making it a great place to live and work. It's also worth mentioning that the Resistance and First Order are trying to make their presence known here at the Walt Disney World Resort. Whatever side you're on, choose wisely, and may the Force be with you. And it says to head to mydisneycareers.com for opportunities at Black Spire Outpost. Which I know that Joshua Jordan might be doing something with them right now. Perhaps.
Can you get a job for like a day and just buy everything at their incredible discount?
I know, right?
I'm sure the line for employment is just as far as the eye can see.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Joshua, once again, thank you very much for your awesome comic book. Once again, that is the Blue Flame Legends.
Yes.
So you can get Joshua's comic book, the Blue Flame Legends, at indieplanet.us.
That's right. And you can also follow them at facebook.com/theblueflamelegends. Excellent. All right. Well, thank you, Joshua. This is amazing, and we love our gift from Galaxy's Edge. Woo! All right, now we have one last thing to mention before we wrap up today, and that is to make sure to head to our YouTube channel because we will be doing a giveaway for this very shirt right here, which, if you're listening on the podcast, it is the Coca-Cola Arabesh shirt, red, that was given at Star Wars Celebration.
Yeah,
at
the Galaxy's Edge panel.
Exactly. So make sure you go to youtube.com/skywalking through Neverland and subscribe. We're going to be doing that contest leading up to Galaxy's Edge, as we are now less than 100 subscribers away from 3,000. 3,000 subscribers. So that's super cool. We want to get to 3,000, so you can help us do that, and we'll have a contest too.
Oh, so close. So close.
I know. And also, please stay tuned to our Instagram at SkywalkingPod, because we will be partnering with Kristen from Mousetalgia for a handmade Star Wars purse and wallet that has been upcycled from 1977 memorabilia.
Oh, you're speaking my language.
I know. It's super cool. So just make sure, head to Instagram and subscribe to us at Skywalking Pod and to her Etsy shop, which is at Board Teak.
How do you spell that?
Yeah. Board, like BOARD TIQUE. Board
Okay.
Teak. Like it's a boutique, but it's Board Teak.
Now, when you say that this wallet has been made from upcycled...
Yes. You know what? I put in a question to her, what material is it upcycled from? But she's been doing stuff like taking, what is it? Like...
Wrapping paper?
Well, wrapping paper, but also in your thing, you have like the C-3PO and R2-D2 LP?
Yeah. Oh,
what
like the story of Star Wars. She got the story of Star Wars record album.
Right.
And she cut up all the pictures.
Right. And puts them together in like bags or wallets, or even she puts them within items that can make jewelry too. So, but for this particular giveaway, she's doing a purse and wallet. So it'll be really neat.
All right. Well, thank you, Kristen, for all your hard work.
So once again, just stay tuned to our Instagram at SkywalkingPod and at BoardTeak. Well, that wraps up episode 248 of
Skywalking Through Neverland. We'd like to thank Jeff Long for joining us today and really selling us on this Galaxy's Edge, because we were on the fence there for a while. Not anymore. And we want to thank all of you Skywalkers for listening and all of you face huggers for joining us live every single week.
We'd also like to thank our sponsor, Small World Vacations. So are you just thinking of a trip to Galaxy's Edge? Can you not wait to go in August? Well, you can fill out a get a quote form at smallworldvacations.com today. And once again, their vacation planning service is free of charge. So check it out and tell them that Skywalking Through Neverland sent you.
And as a reminder, if you want to proudly wear Skywalking Through Neverland, well, we have a new Skywalker's Rise t-shirt. So go over there to skywalkingthroughneverland.com and click through the link to TeePublic, and soon enough you'll be able to get the Galaxy's Edge Skywalking Through Neverland t-shirt. Right, Sarah?
Right. Yeah, I better do that before Galaxy's Edge opens, because when that opens, we're going to be pushing out a lot of content.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, thank you, everyone who is part of the Skywalking Force. Now, if you would like more Skywalking Through Neverland in your life, you can check out skywalkingforce.com. We've got extra content there. We have extra questions we ask you and a community that's just for you. You're also helping to support the ever-growing Skywalking Network. So we just put up another Skywalking Force exclusive episode. Actually, we're about to put up another Skywalking Force exclusive episode, and it is a commentary track to Disney's Aladdin, which we recorded on our new recorder, our H1 with new binaural microphones. So we were testing them for Galaxy's Edge, and we couldn't have invested in this without your help. So be a part of the Skywalking Force at skywalkingforce.com.
Now, you can also find Skywalking Through Neverland way over there at jedinews.co.uk and at Bantha Tracks.
We are also at Skywalking Pod for Twitter and Instagram, and we have our lovely Facebook group, so search Facebook for Skywalking Through Neverland group and request to join and answer the questions that pop up. You can also email us. We are share@skywalkingthroughneverland.com.
And we always love when you Skywalkers write us reviews over there at Apple Podcasts or Stitcher, and we just love to hear what you have to say. Love to hear your reviews. We love the feedback.
Absolutely.
How else can we grow without you?
That's very true. And always remember
to land at Batuu. To leave Galaxy's Edge when the Stormtrooper forces you. To find the Star Wars Holiday Special Easter egg at Dog Ondar's Den of Antiquities. To run from the baby Sarlacc.
And
Neverland on Alderaan.
Some imagination, huh?
to our Skywalkers and Tweetwalkers, thanks for listening. Skywalking Through Neverland is created and produced by Richard and Sarah Woloski. Original music by Rob Dellinger. Creative consultant Mark Augushowitz. Technical advisor Peter Heitman. Facebook administrators Donald Wicks, Joey Pittman, and Norma Heitman.
Skywalking Through Neverland is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. Any sounds, music, and clips played during this podcast are the property of their copyright holders. All original content is property of Skywalking Through Neverland, all rights reserved. Sorry, had to be said.